Hey, hey, and welcome. It is Sunday. It's time for the Snark Lounge. Hey, you beautiful bastards. Glad you can make it. I'm Jimmy, aka SnarkyGuy, and tonight we're going to be talking about cars in China. Yes, because they do have cars in China, but no birds, apparently. So I want to go and welcome my guests. We're going to have some great guys. First of all, he's been on the show. You know him. You love him. He's the man behind the Rojo rope. It's Walkabout Rojo. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited about today's topic, man. Thanks for inviting me back. It's great to be back on the Snark Lounge.
It's great to have you, man.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's also been here, but not for a little while, but we want to welcome him back. It is the man who just bought himself a brand new car in China. It's Kung Fu Adam.
What's happening, everybody?
Hey. It's good
Thanks
to
for
see
having
your
me
smiling
again.
face, my friend.
Yeah, sorry I don't have my setup. I just I was running a little late today, so apologize about that.
Hey, no problem. It's good to have you. Better late than not at all. But I really want to welcome our next guest. He is the man to go to if you want to talk about cars. He is the man behind the fanny pack. It's Ethan, Wheelsboy. Hey, man. It's good to have you.
I'm Adam. I'm so relieved I'm not going to be the only one with a very well lit or without a very well lit kind of setup. I knew these guys were going to come in looking like absolute pros, and I knew that I was going to come in looking like a guy in his living room. So I'm glad I'm not alone. Thank you very much.
Oh, naturally. So, guys, this is Snark Lounge. We're going to talk about some cars today. Quick raise of hands is I know Kung Fu Adam has a car. Paul, do you have a car in China?
I do. I have a 2012 Haval H6 from Great Wall China, or Great Wall Motors, and I love it. And it's one of the things on my channel is I get to talk about owning a secondhand car. So, yeah, it's wonderful to have a car in China. You don't need one, but man, it is quite the luxury.
There you go. Great. So, Adam, I know you've been dying to tell us, man. You just picked up a brand new car here in China, and I understand it's a made in China brand.
It is, yeah. It's Li Xiang One. So,
you got the Li One
on their channel.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Both these guys have them on their channels. So,
Congratulations. That is my favorite Chinese car, hands down.
It's a good car.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Excellent choice, man. Well done, man.
I watched your video about the video. You had the black on black, right?
Right.
I got the black on black on brown version of it, but it's beautiful. I love it.
The black on black on brown.
You got the dark brown interior?
Yep.
My guy.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
My guy. This is a man of taste. This is a man of taste. Oh, thank you.
Especially considering he just got rid of that old Buick. What was that old Buick you had?
Oh, I saw that picture. That what
The
Buick was that?
Excel. You had an Excel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice Buick Excel. Having a used car, wasn't a bad thing for us, to start off with our car journey in China. But it lasted us a good amount of time, and we had to repair it a few times, but it wasn't so expensive. It wasn't so bad. So it was a really good car for us for a little while. We're definitely glad we had it.
What year was it?
A little sad to get rid of it.
What year was it?
It was a 2011.
And how many kilometers did you have on it?
Oh, it was a lot. It was I don't remember exactly, but it was well over 100,000 something. I don't know exactly.
All right.
But it was nice. The interior was kind of redone. We had kind of a new fake leather interior, and it was comfortable. I actually sold the car to a friend of mine, so and they're really, really happy. The freedom with a car is unique in China.
It is.
A lot of people are here. They rely on DDs or taxis or whatever. They just don't know what they're missing, really.
Well, there you go. So, Ethan, do you have a car in China?
As the professional automotive reviewer on the live stream, no, I don't have a car.
But look, you and Snarky, you guys live in Shanghai.
That's true.
It's a different experience if you want to own a car in a city like Shanghai.
True.
Ain't that the truth?
That's true. What I tell people is that I like getting exercise, riding my little bike from the subway station to the office, and then also I drive different cars every week. So the idea of just driving one car all the time is kind of, I don't know if I can do it.
There you go.
I'm totally jaded.
Ethan, when you say, because you are a professional reviewer, if you guys don't know, Wheelsboy is the man. If you get these cars, you get it for 1 week at a time, so every to review it, right? So you're driving around a different car every week as it is.
Yeah, and we get them anywhere from ideally we get them for a whole week. Sometimes you get them for 3 days or whatever. But yeah, I generally get to try different stuff. And then something we do nowadays is if we have a free day, and this is a secret a lot of people don't know. A lot of people think that You can't just walk into a car dealership and drive cars, and that's wrong. Because you can walk in, if you got a license, you can walk into a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and they may not let you drive the most expensive car, but they'll let you drive some Mercedes-Benz. And that's the thing I try to tell people, because they're like, oh, I'd like to try that car. And I go, you have a license? Go do it. Go.
Yeah.
Drive the car. But when we have free time, we're not filming, I'll just go to like 4 different dealerships in a day with one of my partners, and we'll just drive a bunch of different stuff that I haven't tried before.
There you go. So how did you get into this gig of reviewing cars in China?
Well, I'll give you the short version, and I will say that Paul and I, Walkabout Rojo, we did a great little interview probably 5 or 6 months ago, wasn't it, Paul? Where I gave the long version of this story, where I talked about my origin with this. But the short version is that about 2 years ago, I got approached connected by a friend of a friend to a couple of Chinese automotive journalists that were looking for a foreigner that spoke Chinese and wanted to talk about cars in videos. And I said I was born for this, because I've been studying Chinese now for about 10 years. And so my first videos with them were all in Chinese. They're all on Chinese platforms. And then a year into that, so about a year and a half ago, it's actually, Jesus, it's already been 2.5 years since I started this. But a year and a half ago, we said, hey, let's do an English video. And we did it, and we posted it on YouTube, and that would be the first one we would have done from that time would have been our the Wuling Hongguang Plus. And the title is like, this is the best-selling car in China. And but we just, after that, it just kind of took off, because there's a genuine interest in people outside of China in what is happening in the Chinese car market, because it's really, really interesting. Yeah. And Paul's found that out because he's been doing some really good automotive related videos and factory tours and stuff, and they're really, really fun to watch.
There you go. So we got a question here. Heinrich is saying, Ethan did a great review of the Aura Good Cat. For a while, I was considered import one from a dealer from Alibaba. Soon, I can buy that one here in Ireland.
He's right.
Is a wonderful looking car. It's like the Mini Cooper and the Fiat 500 had an affair.
And there was a little bit of Porsche thrown in.
Yep, there you go.
And just a touch of Porsche. So Heinrich is very lucky. So the Good Cat is one of my favorite little electric cars. It's just such crazy value. I mean, the price obviously is going to be more when it gets to Ireland and other European markets, but it's really great. And he's actually going to get what the Chinese refer to as the Aura Good Cat GT, because there's the base regular Aura, a Good Cat, and then the one that is the export version is the GT version here, and it's got even more horsepower. A total of like 160. Calm down, too much.
There you go.
I have 3 friends buying that car or in the process right now.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty.
They're fun,
popular.
man.
Yeah.
It's just so much style for so little money. I mean, you can't. And like, I won't go on a huge rant about the Good Cat. I really like Good Cat. The driver assistance system on a Good Cat, which is 130,000 RMB or about a $20,000 car. That's the top of the line. The driver assistance program is like a level 2 autonomous driving system, and it's legitimately basically as good as the basic package from Tesla. I mean, from your very basic Model 3, no extra features, but the level 2 autonomous driving is genuinely very impressive on that car.
There you go. So I love the styling of that car. It's one of those cars that looks good in the front and the back, unlike most of your new Mercedes, which looks great in the front. And by the time they get to the back, it's like, we did good enough. We're done.
And then you have BMW, which is the opposite, which is the fronts now look absolutely hideous, and the rears look okay. Yep,
there you go. So just like a lot of local girls too, you know. No, it's different here in Shanghai, though. There you go.
That didn't take long.
It did not take long at all. No, we're in Shanghai, though. That's the thing, is driving a car is just absolutely bonkers in Shanghai. Just today, I saw a Lamborghini. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this up on the screen so you guys can see this. I passed this one today.
Did it have a Pikachu?
So Pass this Lamborghini today.
I saw one with a Pikachu on it. I saw a
You
yellow.
did not. Oh,
It's a Aventador actually, which is like it's like almost
Yeah.
$1 million car in China when it was new, and it had a Pikachu on the hood, and that guy was a hero. Well, that person was a hero.
Well, so I'm going faster than this Lambo on my little bike, you know, and I get up, you know, of course I snap a couple pictures of it because it looks great. You know, I get up to it and there's loud music coming out of this car, and it's about 11 degrees today. It's about 51 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who don't do Celsius. And I look inside and there's two girls and a little dog inside. And one of the girls in the car, she's got her seat all the way forward, and she's got her feet. She's just kind of tap dancing on the windshield in this Lambo.
Is this a Quentin Tarantino movie?
No. She's this good. Honest to goodness is happening, and so she's all tap dancing on feet, music going or whatever else. You know, that's right. It's a little homage to Sally Fields and Smokey and the Bandit. There, I just dated myself.
I got that reference.
I got it.
No, I got it. I watched TNT.
There you go. So the awkward thing is she's wearing a thick winter jacket because it's cold, but she's wearing this itty bitty little skirt. I'm in the bike, traffic stopped, I can't go anywhere, and you can see right up her skirt. And I'm like,
tell me I haven't seen this photo. You're not about to put that photo on.
and of course,
This is starting to get illegal.
I've got the moral choice here, you know, the moral conundrum. Do I take a
Ethan has left the chat.
do I take a banger of a dodgy upskirt Instagram pic, or do I look the other way?
No, you don't. No, hold on. I don't know if that's much of a conundrum.
So I'm proud to say, you know, I completely looked the other way. Actually, I came up with the objective third choice, which was I didn't take the pic, but I thought I get to get my wife an outfit like that.
Oh,
Of course.
All right. Guys, round of applause for Snarky. People can change.
We are classy guys.
God's working on all of us. That's right.
Now, the funny thing is, of course, as soon as traffic kind of readjusts itself, the Meituan driver ahead of me didn't seem burdened with this morality and proceeded to fill up his memory card with pictures, you know, portrait, landscape, everything else, you know. And
that's funny.
Macro lens. He probably took one of those like panoramic.
In about 15 minutes.
Guys, have you been to the auto shows? Any auto show you go to, it's ridiculous. They have the girls on every car, and surrounding every girl is like 6 dudes taking photos of the girls. And yep. I'm like, well, move the girl away. Let's look at the car, you know. But it's actually a little ridiculous how much attention is put on the girls as opposed to the cars.
Well, a lot of those
at the auto shows.
They don't care about the cars.
But they have like
they know it's the best place to find, you know, pretty ladies. You know,
they have 100,000 UN worth of camera equipment and lighting, dragging it all around, you know, just for the girls.
sweating, which makes them even more of a spectacle as they're just standing there dripping sweat in front of this beautiful woman. Like,
there you go. Hey, we got a question here, a legitimate question, saving us from ourselves. Do you need a Chinese driver's license to test drive cars at a dealership in China?
Definitely.
Yes. I wish I had good news for you. You definitely do, yeah.
So, or can you use a European or a U.S. driver's license?
Now, let's get this out of the way real quick, because even in China is one of the few countries in the world that does not recognize the international driving permit, which if you have that in most other countries, you can drive. You go to Japan, the Philippines, you have that attached to your driver's license back home, you can use it. But China doesn't recognize it, so you have to have a Chinese driver's license. The good news is if you have a driver's license in another country, getting a driver's license here, it is a little bit of a process, but it is doable. You know, you basically translate your driver's license. You go and you sit for the test. There's no behind the wheel test, and you could probably get it done in, you know, a few weeks. You know, that's was my experience getting it done, and I think it's good. Is it good for 6 years? I think it is, right? The Chinese driver's license. I think you're right. Yeah.
I have a pretty funny story. I'll just tell you real quick.
Oh yes, please.
License, so when we bought the vehicle, the first vehicle that we owned, I didn't have a driver's license here, And actually, I didn't have an active driver's license in the States because I hadn't been there for so long. I had just never renewed it. And so I looked at, the process of getting a new driver's license here, just kind of like not worrying about my U.S. driver's license. And they were quoting me like, 7,000 RMB or something to take, driving course lessons and all this other stuff. And then, I was like, that's ridiculous. They're like, but if you have your driver's license, it'll only cost you like 800 RMB. So I'm like, well, that sounds pretty cool, but I don't. So I got my wheels turning. I'm like, okay, so what would it take for me to get my driver's license from the States again? And it would take me going back to the States and just basically, filling out a piece of paper, and then they'll give me a new one. And I looked at the cost, and it ended up being like 5,000 RMB to go back to the States to get my U.S. driver's license, and then come back here and get the Chinese driver's license with the U.S. license at the same time. So that's what I did. It was cheaper for me to fly to the U.S., get my driver's license there, and then come back here and get my driver's license. And it's pretty funny, I think. But, yeah.
Actually, you could have saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
When I got my driver's license renewed from here, all I did is had someone back in the States just fill out a renewal online, and they just mailed me my new license.
It depends on what state you're from. Yeah.
26
True.
bucks.
The reason why I couldn't do that is because I was basically on the last month of my renewal possibility without being tested, because I had been gone for so long, and my driver's license was expired for so long. I was basically just under the 5-year period that I was allowed. So, but I had to be in person to do it. I couldn't have my family do it. But
I think it matters on what state you're from.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Good,
So were you saying that when you had your old car, as in you had the old Buick Excel, you didn't have a license? Were you driving it at the time?
I was not. No. We had just bought it. Like I never.
I was about to
drove
say.
it
Yeah.
Adam, as your lawyer, I advise you to stop talking.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really the kind of person that would do that, I think. But no, it's good advice, I got to say. Have a driver's license if you're going to drive. But no, we had made the purchase agreement, and then literally within a week, I was on a plane to the U.S. to get my license and do other things. So it just made sense, and it was nice to go home for the holidays. So
Cool.
yeah.
What state are you from, Adam?
Utah.
Hey, and Snarky.
Interesting.
Snarky, you're from Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma.
And
The
Ethan,
land
you're
is long and
from
flat, just like the language.
North Carolina.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
See, I'm originally from California, and I
I was going to say that. I remembered that.
I switched from California to South Dakota for tax reasons, when I came to China. And the
How many
South
millions you
Dakota,
got, dude?
the South Dakota license that I have, you renew it for like $20 and you mail it in. Whereas California, it's an arm and a leg. So it really depends. And I think Oklahoma, Utah, those are really, really, low government, just send us a couple bucks and we'll give it to you.
There we go. And
This reminds me. Oh no, we'll stick with the China stuff. Go on.
Oh wait, they got that question, Snarky. What was that question?
All right.
I want to see that question.
Was,
Yeah.
Is it hard to import cars to China like an old Volvo Amazon?
Yes.
First of all, I really like this person's taste. Volvo Amazons.
I don't even know. What's the Volvo Amazon? I know, Ethan, you know what it is. I don't know what it is. What is it?
So no, older than that. It's not a brick. It's not one of the brick ones. It's older than that. And the person who posted that question maybe can. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. Volvo Amazon is pre 740 and the brick wagons from the 80s and 90s. It is, I think, 70s. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's even older and it's rounder. It's really interesting looking.
Interesting.
Yeah. But is it easy to import to China? There are year laws. I looked into it because
1956.
Sorry, thank you. I knew it was even older than that. Thank you for clarifying.
So back home in the States, I have a 2000 Mitsubishi Montero, which in Asia and everything, it's a Pajero. But of course, in America, Pajero means jerk off. So they have a different name for it, essentially. But I love that SUV. It's my baby. I even named it. It's a red one. I named it Scarlet. So, you have to name your cars, right? So Scarlet is sitting in a garage back home. And I thought, why don't I just import it to China rather than buying one? And it's too old. It's a 2000, so I can't import it.
So
it depends
1956.
I had a 2005 red
No
Montero, by the way.
Oh,
If I'm not mistaken, if it's older than 10 years old, it won't happen.
That's right. I think it's 10 years. 10 or 15 years. I can't remember.
Even if you get one of the more difficult things about having an older car in China, if you can get it registered and everything, is you have to get inspected. If it's more than 10 years or more than 7 years old or something like that, or 15 years old, you have to get inspected every 6 months.
I got mine's 10 years. It's every 6 months, and after 12 years, it depends on actually what province you're in and everything. But yeah, after 10 years, you have to get inspected more often. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you don't. It's one of the things that the Chinese car culture and the Chinese car market stuff is lacking is a lot of older automobiles. One, because the Chinese car market obviously got started much later, and so a lot of these cars were never sold here, and they would have had to been imported. And because they're difficult to keep on the road, you just don't see older vehicles here as a general rule, which is disappointing. I mean, the only place you can see them is places like the Shanghai Automotive Museum, which I love. And one time they were dumb enough to invite me to do a Chinese language video there, and then they didn't keep an eye on me. So
No.
I think I told this story. I think I told the story to Paul, but I went around the corner and then I sat in every single car that I could get into, which was like old Bentleys from the 1920s and stuff, and all these old cars. And the only one that I couldn't get into was they had a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, which is like a $1.5 million car, and they were not dumb enough to keep that one unlocked.
Yeah. Isn't that at the top of line 11 here in Shanghai?
Yeah, it's in Jiading in the northwest.
Yeah.
It's a fair distance, but it's really worth if you're an automobile enthusiast. Yeah.
We got one here right down the street.
I live on line 11 near Jing'an, so I can just get right on line 11, go right up. Takes me 20 minutes.
There you go.
So I got a friend of mine who owns a classic car museum, and it's literally like 2 blocks from me. And I did a couple of videos out there, but he's got a couple of the old Hongqis, the old like 1960s, 1970 Hongqi with the security bench seats that fold up. And Ford big block V8s in the they're Ford engines, and then the chassis are the old Chrysler Imperials. And I was like, why is it this Frankenstein thing of the Hongqi? And he's like, oh, well, go watch the Jay Leno's garage thing he did. And Jay Leno did a whole thing on Hongqi, and it was only like maybe 5-6 years ago, and he had never even heard of Hongqi until he did the video. Of course, here in China, Hongqi is like the thing to have. Yeah. So it was a remarkable video to watch on the Jay Leno channel.
Yeah, I watched that video. That was cool.
Yeah.
Leno's garage. Yeah, the Hongqi that they have, the CA770, I think, over at the Automotive Museum, and the dashboard, the upper dash right past the steering wheel is this absolutely insane pattern material. It's like almost I could not tell you what it's made of, but it's like turquoise and dark blue and dark green, and looks like a countertop. Looks like something you make a countertop out of, but I've never seen anything remotely like it on the inside of a car before, of any period.
Well, some of the old Packards had the same thing though in them. You're saying Packards. So
you're talking about 1920s, going back that generation, 1920,
exactly.
1930 Packards, yeah. All right.
True story.
The cars of his youth.
But you're talking about getting someone's asking about a driver's license. It's pretty legit, but in some parts of China, you can still go take the test. You can get someone to feed you the answers off camera, or even take the test for you.
No.
It's possible. You shouldn't do it because getting caught would be a bad news for everybody.
That would be very bad.
Obviously everybody knows somebody that's done it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in Shanghai, it's pretty straightforward. I haven't done it yet because I don't have a car. I didn't really want one in Shanghai because, I can't afford the time waiting in a car where I can just get on the metro or my bike, and it's much faster.
I can't read my. I feel bad saying this, but I can't read my Kindle while driving a car down the highway of the office. I can't.
I
can on the subway. I mean, it seems like
I have to tell you this, dude. My Havel has a DVD player in the dash from the original DVD. And I brought back all my DVDs from America. I literally in my bag, just like stacks of DVDs. Now, some of them will work, some of them won't, but the majority of them work. And so I'll be driving down the road listening.
As your lawyer, I advise you not to continue.
I'm not watching. I have to watch the road, but I'm listening to my favorite movies from the 2000s and the 90s, on DVD.
I just turn on the third screen on my car and then turn on my TV.
His third screen.
And they're there. And they're there. No problem.
You can stream it because it's got like 5G connection on the Li one, right? You can stream.
It's 4G, but still
it's
good.
4G, but still you can stream. Douyin, you can stream all the.
Also, there's a book app now that you can upload onto the car, which will read your books for you as well. So
you can do KTV. Li Auto has KTV.
Yeah.
Did you get the KTV thing?
My wife,
we actually have a microphone. There's a microphone for KTV
in your thing.
Yeah, no,
you guys are
that was
too excited to talk about
KTV. The wife loves it. Like I drive her to work in the morning, and on the way to work, she sings. She loves it. It's great. It's the biggest thing. Everybody that comes and looks at the car, they're like, "Oh, I've heard this does KTV," and yeah, it does. So let's do it. we were charging it, and we were like, you got 30 minutes or whatever to waste. Let's do some KTV. So we did.
How's that for a China-related, just KTV in your Li one?
And it's.
I will tell you now, the first car anywhere in China. I know it's for sure in China, but I believe it's anywhere to feature as standard equipment, a microphone and a KTV setup was the Geely Beauty Leopard in 2003.
Beauty.
the Geely what?
The Beauty Leopard. Can I tell you about the Beauty Leopard, please?
Tell us about this.
Tell us about the Beauty Leopard. Yeah.
The Geely Beauty Leopard, China's first and to this day one of its very few two-door sport coupes. I can't call it a sports car. It was front-wheel drive and very slow, so I wouldn't call it a sports car.
I know the car.
It was based on I believe the chassis and everything was Geely. It was Geely's. The engine was a Toyota 1.5, and I all right. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a scoop. Hopefully, I'll be talking about it on the channel soon. We bought a Beauty Leopard.
You actually bought one? It's going to be your chase car, isn't it? It's your filming car, right?
Oh my guys. I wish I could tell you that there's going to be a long series of videos about the Beauty Leopard. There's going to be, I think, one video about why there won't be a long series of videos about the Beauty Leopard. Because to put it in brief, we bought a huge shitbox. This is what happens, and I won't give away too many details, but this is what happens when your intern buys this car. The company decides we're going to do this. We want a Beauty Leopard. It's going to be great. We'll make content about it. Everybody wins. Intern gets a car to drive. He needs something to commute in. Don't send your intern to another city with $800 in his hands and tell him to pick out the car. And your intern is like 19 or 20, by the way. Like most 19 or 20-year-olds, he's an idiot. I was an idiot too. I was probably dumber than he is.
He could be a genius.
He could eventually become a genius. But what happened is he got there and he handed the money to the guy before he ever saw the car.
Of course.
Right. And he's, by the way, he has training as a mechanic. He's a certified mechanic. He can fix all your basic stuff on cars. So he should have he would have been able to look at it and go like, oh no, get on the train, get back on the train. But instead, he hands the guy the money and then sends us the video of this thing, and we're all like, what have we done?
Well, I hope
this
this
is
video
going to
makes
be
you enough
beautiful.
money
I
to pay
can't
for
wait
it.
to see this. Yeah.
I regret, like, can I tell you, this was like 4 months ago, I think, when we got it. And we've been sitting on it trying to figure out what, if anything, we could do with it for that long. And I will tell you now, it is currently abandoned at the inspection site in an inspection site in Zhejiang, which is like an hour southwest of Shanghai. And I'm so sad about it.
You can start a Hoovie's Garage. You know Hoovie's Garage is another.
Of course.
You can start a Hoovie's Garage.
Hoovie's cars can move, though. I think Hoovie buys terrible cars, but his at least can drive and be registered.
How about that Sam Crack or whatever, Sam Rack, whatever in the States?
He goes to he goes to the auctions. What's it called?
Those don't drive, right?
No, so they can. Some of them, a lot of them can. They're just totaled, and so legally speaking, there's a lot of things you got to do. And the other thing is, Sam Crack lives in Florida, and guess what goes in Florida? Anything.
Everything.
Anything.
Of course. Even alligators. They drive
Even alligators. I think alligators can be registered as voters in that state.
I'm sure they are.
Most likely.
So it's the saga of the Beady Leopard is a brief but tragic one.
Did you get anything? Did you get any of it on camera? Did you get anything you can use?
I will tease you this. We got the picking it up process. Now, originally, I did a Chinese version. So my Chinese audience is trying to have known about this car for months because we did a Chinese version first. Because there was a lot more flexibility with that, and we needed to have Chinese content. And the English one was like, okay, we're going to have it later. I intended on inviting a friend of mine. Remember, guys, this is low key, secret. But another friend of mine, a YouTuber named Elliot Richards, who has a very good channel called China Driver. He is a huge. He's good. He's also on Fully Charged. He's the China correspondent for them, so I watch all of his videos. But he's a huge Beauty Leopard fan. He's the one. He told me about the Beauty Leopard, and so I really wanted to get a video of me showing him our Beauty Leopard, but I don't think it's gonna happen unless he's willing to commute quite a distance. So we will. I've said it out loud to people. I've gotta get on it, and hopefully Chinese New Year's coming up. But I would say. Maybe in February we can get out. It's not going to be a complicated video. It's going to be me standing in front of a car that don't move.
But still, it'll be very entertaining. Man.
You got to show off the features, and then just this feature, this is what works, and then it doesn't work. And then, wait, but this other feature, this will work.
Doug DeMuro doesn't drive all his cars,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This is the dashboard that was originally black that was spray painted red. This is the one window that rolls down. This is the other window that doesn't roll down. Things like that.
Perfect.
This sounds like a car I bought in America years ago.
All right, what Snarky? Okay, what was the car that you're talking about?
I bought a 1984 Camaro.
Nice.
For $300.
Where's your mullet? Show us your mullet.
Show us your what?
Your mullet.
No mullet.
Business party in the back.
If I have a Bible, I have a Bible app on my phone I could swear on right now. The car was in a barn. It was in a barn, like kind of one of those garage barns things. And I bought the car sight unseen. I get there, and the car has the doors open, and there's goats in the car.
Only in Oklahoma, man. It's an Oklahoma thing, right?
Did you have to pay extra for the goats?
So this car was the worst thing. It literally leaked every fluid except gas. One brake caliper worked on the car. It was a death trap. I drove this thing for 3 months, and I decided I was going to try to sell it because, again, it smelled like goats constantly. None of the gauges worked. I had to add oil all the time to this thing. One time I was so sick of adding oil, I was like, I every day I go to the convenience store, buy a quart of oil and a thing of Coke, and I'm like, what would happen if you just dumped the Coke right in the crankcase? What would happen? So I did it. The car ran great.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, man, American made.
And of course, eventually I started buying 2 Cokes, one for me and one for my homie, And so I put the car up for sale, in the Penny Saver magazine. This is way back before the internet.
Penny Saver.
And so 3 guys showed up at my door, also farmers, with bib overalls, no shirt, one having the strap hanging off, and they're like, "Do you have a 1984 Camaro for sale?" "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "How much?" And I was like, "I'm gonna double my money. How about $600?" They're like, "Fine." They just paid me for the car and left. And I'm like, that's weird. 2 weeks go by, and I get a knock on my door from the Tulsa, Oklahoma police. They're like, "Sir, do you have a 1984? I sold it. You got a bill of sale for that car?" "I do." The car was evidently pulled over by an officer with a canine unit who signaled the driver. They found all this hash under the dash of the car.
Yeah, I remember this.
Oh, dash hash.
And of course, they're trying to, they say, "Search my apartment. I don't have anything." I didn't, pull my ice cream tree out, open my computer up, the whole 9 yards. And they're like, "Well, if we ever catch you, we're going to throw the book at you, Dano, whatever it was." And I never got the end of the story, but what I think probably what happened is the farmer selling the car, his kid was hiding some weed in the car. And then his friends were looking for the car and bought it sight unseen. Who knew? So
they were hoping for a little bit more sheep love there. I don't know. Oklahoma.
Well, Adam, what was your first car, Adam?
I had this is more boring, I guess. I had a Ford Escort.
Hey, good choice.
Wait. What year? Wait.
I do have.
Was it the square? Was this the square one, or what year was it?
Yeah, it was pretty square.
It was a square GT, Hope, square. Right?
Yeah, I don't even remember, to be honest, what it was. As far as I do know that it only had 3 gears, and I lived in Utah.
Three automatic.
Three was an automatic.
It was not an automatic. It was a manual, but only three gears. It didn't have a 4th gear.
Was it
three of 4 worked?
No, it was first, second, and third. That was it.
It was 3-speed.
Hey, were you running 5,000 RPM on the highway?
But I actually I drove it up into the canyons, up in the mountains, and there's a really massive road, a big highway that you could drive on, and I was driving down that road. And there was a Porsche next to me, and I'm like, "Hey, I can let's race." And I was faster than the Porsche going down the hill until I thought the car was gonna fall apart, and then I got slow again.
Beautiful.
Those old Ford Escorts, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was
fun.
This goes back to one of my theories. Here in Shanghai, everywhere there are cameras absolutely everywhere, right? And this is true in a lot of Chinese cities, but the traffic cameras are everywhere. And so you can't get away with much. I mean, we've borrowed like Porsche 911, like a 911 Carrera S, and it was one of the most bittersweet days of my life because it was truly a eye-opening experience. I went like, "Oh, this is why people like 911s." But I also went, why would I own this car in this city? Because it was just like stoplight and then full throttle, nut off. Because there were so many cameras. And that's why I can tell you the fastest vehicle in Shanghai at any given time is anything with a temporary plate. Because temporary plates can't be picked up. Temporary plates can't be picked up by the cameras. Like they're paper tags in your window.
Yep, yeah.
And so your Lamborghini with the real plate is never going to be as fast from point A to point B within the city limits as that guy in a 15 horsepower ruling mini EV.
Yeah.
With a temporary
I just got my plates put on yesterday. So those temporary plates, they have their good and their bads, I tell you.
They
so
do.
now your car's slower.
Yeah. But just don't try to go to a parking lot anywhere in China with a plate.
It's a pain. It's a pain.
Before and after.
Yeah.
Because they try to scan the plate and there ain't no plate.
Actually, the fastest vehicle in all of Shanghai, it's this one right here. Oh, put it up on the screen. This is the fastest thing in Shanghai.
What is it? I don't see it. What is it?
I haven't seen anything pop up.
It's an electric bike.
Oh, honestly though,
Well,
Like
point A to
certain
point
times
B.
of day,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I've used my phone to figure out that the not the subway, but when the train gets outside of the city to where our offices are in the suburbs, because you can't film in downtown Shanghai, that does not work.
Yep.
But that thing, they put the train tops out when I guess it's an elevated whatever road. It like 75 kilometers an hour, and I'm like, oh, we're zipping. We're flying here. That's what gets me places.
Yeah, no kidding. So, yeah. Occasionally you see some guy, those little guys, little YMI drivers. Those guys are the fast ones, though.
Those guys are suicidal.
Yeah.
Well, that is also true.
It's the worst part about driving.
Yeah.
Always fearful that these guys are just gonna go right in front of you, and a lot of times they do. It's nuts, and like a lot of times they don't have helmets. It's pretty crazy. I don't like that.
Yeah. And then again, I'm such a hypocrite because I'll be the guy when I'm driving a car, I'm like absolutely losing my mind at the people on the bikes and stuff. And then the second I get on a bike, I'm the exact same way. I'm doing whatever I want. You make way. I'm gonna cross the road right now. It's a green light for you, but I'm gonna go now.
Snark, I have a question for you. I know you don't have a car, but if you were to buy a car in Shanghai, which one would you buy?
Good question.
Snarky?
We got a hiccup there.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I was asking you. I know you don't have a car, but I'm always curious. We all have cars, and I know Wheelsboy has a million. So, Snarky, what car would you buy if you had an opportunity to buy one in Shanghai?
Oh, hands down, Fiat 500.
Oh, the Abarth. It's got to be the Abarth.
He wants the Abarth, yeah.
He's got to be the Abarth.
I love that thing. It drives like it's on rails, and I know someone's going to make a joke about
Julia
it.
Roberts, right?
All things.
Okay. Well,
no, we let you make those jokes because you always do. We never have to, because we can always rely on you to do it.
Oh, there you go.
But it's a good choice. I remember that's where I learned.
Drive. It's economical and it's just cool.
Well, when you're in Shanghai, it makes sense, definitely, because it's easy to park that thing, And the Abarth is freaking awesome. The Abarth is pretty cool. I'll give you that. But the regular one is going to break. They're kind of crap.
Fix it again, Tony. F-I-T. Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah, that's good.
Fix it again,
exactly.
Tony.
Yeah.
I sent this picture to Ethan a couple of months back. Ethan, I don't know if you can see this one on the screen with a Peppa Pig. Can you see this one?
Yeah. I think I posted that to our Instagram. I borrowed that from you. That was great.
I can't see it. What are we looking at? What was it?
I remember it. I also can't see it. It's not popping up on our screen, but.
Oh, it's not popping up on your screen? Okay. It's popping up on everybody else's screen.
Yeah, I see.
That's what matters.
Car, bunch of text on it. Peppa Pig. Cool wheels.
It's got Peppa Pig.
Is it Ion Y with a Peppa Pig on it? Or is that Tom and Jerry? You had a Tom and Jerry one.
Yeah, I sent you a Tom and Jerry one as well. That's
a thing. That's a thing in China is these decals, these Pikachu, the Tom and Jerry, especially Pikachu.
Doraemon.
I see them, like you said, on the Lambo, but I see them on the shittiest 10, 15-year-old car. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's cool. All right. But then you see Hello Kitty next to you,
None of that is going on on the Li Xiang one. None
until,
of it at all.
Until your wife says, I want Hello Kitty in the in the passenger seat. She's going to do it. She's like, I want Hello Kitty in the passenger seat. She's going to do it. Watch.
Those are fighting words, I tell you. She'll win, but they're fighting words. You know what I mean?
You see these cars with like the Decepticon logo on there.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Umbrella
the Band
logo.
of Brothers. Band of Brothers is huge.
Band of Brothers.
The Band of Brothers Jeeps, Wranglers, Jeep Wranglers with just Band of Brothers on the side and some random outlines of soldiers, and I'm like,
have no idea.
Who are you cosplaying as? You are LARPing.
U.S. Army logos on the side of Jeeps, and on the side of
you see that all the
BJ40s.
time.
The bike BJ40s have
The Chinese Jeep
The
Wrangler.
tank-
Yeah, it'll be like
the
Band of
tanks
Brothers,
with it on there.
U.S. Army.
Yeah, the tanks, the new, the wannabe Wranglers, the tanks that you
The
see
Way tank,
all
yeah.
the time.
Now, is it Way? Because Way had the tank for like a year, and now Way is a brand, or excuse me, Tank is a brand. So now it's
Yeah.
just a Tank 300. So the
You're right.
old Way tank is like an anomaly. You don't see them they're like a unicorn.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
Tank
at some
300s
point-
are very common now.
Yeah, at some point it's going to be like one of those weird, like mid-year muscle cars that were worth like $1.5 million in 2003 because they had like this engine, but this transmission, but this color option that was only available for 2 months in 1971.
Right.
The Tank 300 with the Way badges is going to be desirable now.
I think so.
To someone, not to me, but to someone.
I like them. They're good, man. They're really cool cars.
You know what I'm gonna. Maybe I can send it to Snarky. In fact, I don't know if you can pop this up if I send this to you. But basically, there's this Chinese media that has made the Tank 300. For those of you guys that are watching that don't know, the Tank 300 is a it's like a mid-size or compact, large mid-size SUV with lots of like off-roading equipment and everything. It looks like a mixture between kind of a Wrangler, mostly like a Bronco, a lot of Bronco, but with also like the BJ212, this old Chinese car. But the point is, people made a Tank 100, which means they took the back doors off, and it's a 2-door version. And there's only like one available, of course, because they only made one of them. But it is one of the coolest thing. It's sexy. It's perfect because it's like how the Defender, the new Land Rover Defender, it looks so much better as a 2-door. It really, really, really does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see, and this is a lot of high quality image. So this guy, his inner photographer is going to weep when he sees this. But
But
the
the
point
Smart
is,
for 2 looks a lot better as a 2-door also, but I know none of you would probably like that.
No,
Well-
you're right. It did. It totally did. Absolutely.
last thing, sorry, I'm going to drive that car, by the way. The Tank 100 is coming to Shanghai for me to drive in February. That's why I know about it. It's because they were like, "Hey, you will drop it off at your office in your parking lot." I said, "Sure, thank you." So I'm very excited about that. But
Now, is that a car that's drivable in China, though?
it is not. It actually it can't.
As your
it can't go on the
lawyer, I'm
road.
expressing you. It's a
It can't go on the road. It can't be registered because it's so heavily modified, and modifying cars in China is very difficult to do
Almost
legally.
impossible.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. You kind of just have to. A lot of people just go like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to do it. And if I get caught, so be it." But this car can drive, it just can't go on the road. So I'll be driving it within the parking lot of our community. But it's not like it's a Lamborghini. It's I've already driven a regular Tank 300. I'm not there for the driving experience. I'm just here to drool on it.
Yep. For those who don't know, in China, most cars have almost basically a car passport or a car hukou that has all of the details listed out. And if you change something, whenever you go to re-register your car, they basically will just pull the registration.
Tire, wheel size, color, all sorts of different details, and a literal picture of the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you just like put new wheels on it, they can go.
Nope.
Hey, yep. You
Yep.
have to
They
peel
give
the tent.
they
You have to
give
do
you the
everything. Yeah, I have to take my roof rack off. I have to take the tent off. I have to do all of that just to get it registered, just to prepare it for the inspection and the registration. And then, of course, it's so cheap to get all that stuff done here and the repairs and everything. So, you just do it and then you put it right back on after it's done.
It's
Yeah,
worth it.
Yeah.
I made some changes to my mom's car. I put a couple of things on there. My mom had this 2009 Toyota Corolla, which is like the most popular car in China. I swear.
Most popular car in the world, I think.
The world,
The 09,
One of them,
yeah.
for sure.
They're like
Easily.
those cars are like breeding or something. I don't know what's up with it. But
They
yeah,
have
I
it since 66.
changed the battery out on my mom's car, and then she had trouble re-registering the car because the battery was different.
Wow.
of all
That's
things.
interesting. And that's in Dongguan, right?
Yeah, it was in Dongguan.
Dongguan.
So
Because the battery
the
was
great
different.
city of Dongguan.
yep,
The metropolis.
the dirty
I believe is
D.
the word.
It's famous
not
for
that in-
factories and
dude.
prostitution.
It
Neither
is
was
not
the
that. No. It's not that anymore. I
That
spent a lot
stopped
of
in
time in Dongguan.
2014. So.
Yeah, Dongguan is actually.
that's my home. I've been in Dongguan since 2000.
Okay, well, I moved from
Adam, you're
Dongguan.
there now. Are you in
We got a
Dongguan
couple
right
of
now? Adam?
Dongguan defenders
Yeah, I'm
here.
in Dongguan now.
I-
Dongguan
moved
is
from
actually an
Dongguan a while
amazing
ago.
city. I actually like Dongguan a lot. I think it's a
Never
beautiful
been.
city.
Can't tell you.
Incredible
Well,
city, great parks, wonderful family-friendly city. It is not the hedonistic place that it once was. It once was, I'm sure.
But
I don't know.
2014,
Yeah.
there was Valentine's Day. They put a stop to that.
Valentine's Day. Wow, what
I
a
think
day.
it was 5,000 or 6,000 police officers
Oh.
roamed through the town and put
Dongguan's
stop
a
to all
great
that.
city. I give it up. It blew me away when I've been there.
The
It's great.
parks, the park system and parks are really fantastic.
It's not the second to
Underrated.
none. There's no better city that I've been to in China like Dongguan. And they're great to drive through, by the way. If you go for a drive
Yeah.
down in these parks, you just go on and they're all connected to one another. Beautiful park driving.
Isn't this in
Next time
Guangdong
you come,
province?
come say hi.
Yes, Dongguan. It's right next to Guangzhou, man. Right next to Guangzhou.
Makes sense. Guangdong, Dongguan.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I did move from there quite a few years ago, so I'm sure some things had to have gotten better.
You did leave, yes.
Well, you were
So,
just
yeah.
in Shenzhen for a little while. You weren't that far away, man. You were just
There
right?
you go. There you
I
go.
remember. I've been watching you years. Yeah.
So we had a question. Someone was asking, I encountered one toll booth when I was in China. Are they common?
Of course they are. They're everywhere.
All the highways, everything's
All the highways.
every I remember I drove.
ETC and you're good.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm never in cars with ETCs, man. All these press cars don't have ETC.
Fantastic.
So
I'm jealous.
Dongguan is no different than Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's much different than Amsterdam. Come on, it's totally different.
I've never been to either. I believe it. I think this person's right.
I've been to
Someone's gotta be
Amsterdam,
the
but
contrarian, yeah.
what can I say?
No,
I was only there.
back in the day, it's funny to drive around Dongguan. In fact, just a couple days ago, I was driving in some of the factory areas, and there was a building that looked like some Roman Colosseum, and it was abandoned. And at one point, you could have probably put a comparison with Amsterdam with that building, but that's no longer the case.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So
Apologize.
Yeah. I remember driving in Dongguan was kind of difficult too, because people there tend to drive like a school of fish. Someone will be on your right and cut you off to go left. Someone will be on your left, and sometimes they'll do it at the same time.
That is the case, but it's changing because of all the cameras. They're always putting out new cameras, and so the traffic laws and the way traffic moves and everything is becoming a lot more uniformed. Even just 5-6 years ago, it was like a school of fish, and that's how you got around the towns. But not just the big cities, but even some of the smaller cities have cameras everywhere. So everyone's been keeping in their lanes a lot more lately.
I still wish that there was just a few traffic cops, roaming around.
I do
there's
too.
Still little things that the because all the cars tell you where the cameras are, so you know where they're at.
That's right.
So when you're not near a camera, people do whatever they want, and that's the
true.
problem. If there's a few patrol cars riding around, I think that would lessen. But they'd probably just get angry. Why are you pulling me over and wasting my time?
Well, naturally.
That is. I have seen people argue with cops. It's pretty funny when somebody gets pulled over. It's like usually it's like an older person as well. They
an
go
older woman,
ham
an
on the
older
cop.
lady, yeah.
An older lady, yeah. They will. You can hear it from a block away. The lady yelling at the cop.
It's true.
I actually saw a motorcycle today pull over a Why My driver today. A motorcycle cop pulled over a Why My driver for no helmet in Shanghai. First time I've ever seen it.
Wow.
That's a myth. I've never heard of that. Never seen it.
So, why
You might
not?
as well tell me you saw a unicorn.
Unless you have video, it's not true. Come on.
Right. Picture
proof.
didn't happen, bro.
What can I say? But Well, hey, we are nearly out of time here. I want to go around and give everyone a chance to give a couple final thoughts, and of course, tell us about what videos you have coming out in the near future. Adam, take us away. What do you have coming out in the near future? And final thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for including me here. I know that I'm not one of the main car dudes in China, but I do. I've been paying a lot of attention for the last year. I've written comments on both of these guys' videos about different things here and there, and I've just gone through the process of buying a car. So there's a good chance that I'll put out a video finally that will talk about my experience. And that will showcase how amazing my car is, because it is fantastic. So, and these other guys, they agree. They're the car guys, so it's true.
Best-selling car in its
video
category.
on that car.
Yeah, that's right.
Good reason for that. Yeah.
So, Paul, what you got? Final thoughts, and what do you have coming down in the future, my friend?
Driving a car in China is a super pleasure. I'm from LA. I love driving. I think it's very therapeutic. And even in China, it is extremely therapeutic, and it opens up the world like you wouldn't believe. So if you have an opportunity to get a driver's license and then purchase a car, even a secondhand car, please do it, because you really get to see everything that this country has to offer. So I'm a huge fan of cars back in LA, but the China auto market is a whole different monster. And that's why I kind of got into it, was because I needed to learn about it. You go on the street, you see all these cars. You don't know the names of them. You don't know where they're built. You don't know the history of them. They're all written in China, right? You know, Ethan, right? So, and it just, and it's an exciting time to be a viewer of the evolution of the Chinese market. But that's not to count out the other markets too. I mean, there's exciting things going on in America, exciting things going on in Europe. It's a really exciting time in this transition period in the automotive world. And I'm very, very happy that I get to go out and make videos about this. But unfortunately, I got 18 videos in the can ready to edit for the winter, and none of them are car related. They're on food and hiking. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but I will be in Ethan. I hope to see you there. I will be in Beijing for Beijing Auto at the end of April. So that's going to be very exciting. I think this is going to be one of the greatest auto shows ever. And I'm really excited for Beijing in April.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So Ethan, what do you have coming down for us in your future, my friend? Final thoughts as well.
Well, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for the Geely Beauty Leopard. But apart from that, we have a video actually that's going to be coming out tomorrow evening, China time, U.S. In the morning, Monday time, which is the latte, the Whey, back to Whey, the Whey latte, which is the coffee. Yeah, so the coffee 01 is being sold in Europe, and I believe that's the macchiato here in China. Yes, there is a macchiato, then the latte, then the mocha is the biggest one. And also, fun fact, we talked about this in the video, the trim levels of this car, medium, large, extra large.
Are you sure? Wait, they didn't actually go tall, grande. They didn't do that whole thing.
That's a whole other video we could do. The other example I'll give you very quickly is that the Haval Big Dog,
which I'm buying. I'm buying the Big Dog.
Oh, nice.
In the next couple of months. Yes. Sorry.
You said you're buying it?
Yes, I'm buying it's either going to be
the toggle. What trim level?
I don't know if it's going to be the Labrador or the
Malamute.
I don't know which one.
I kid you not. Labrador, Malamute, Husky, and then the top one translates to Chinese rural dog, which basically is the Chinese term for
dog.
It's like
that's
specific.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specific Chinese it's like kind of an interesting Chinese mutt breed or whatever.
Oh, man.
I
love China.
Everywhere.
This is so awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, we're gonna get dog cam. Say. So, anyways, we have that coming out, and then we have a bunch of other things. I'll be driving that 2-door tank and everything.
Hello,
but
Biscuit.
Hey, there's Biscuit.
Hello, Biscuit. Yes, everything Paul said, I completely agree with. It's just honestly, there's a lot of interest in he and I's videos about cars because what's happening in China is, I honestly think hands down some of the most fascinating things, because it's such a crazy mix of European and American and Chinese and Japanese and all these different countries selling cars here. It's a complete free-for-all. And the technology is interesting and amazing. And I, too, am really looking forward to the Beijing Auto Show. I will absolutely be there. And I'm sure that Paul and I will take a selfie together.
So the question is, Paul, are you going to wear a fanny pack?
Your fanny pack.
No. That's his brand. Go
Same
for it, dude. Oh,
time.
yeah, he's got to go get it. No. He's got his fanny pack. You know, he knows his brand, dude. The fanny pack, he talked about it in one of our videos. He talked about what the deal with the fanny pack was, and it's just like his love for wagons. His love for wagons is that they're practical. There it is. There it is. He's got a great story about that particular one. You know, it's a beautiful fanny pack. We've seen it firsthand. Yeah.
Keep it on screen.
I have seen it in person, and yep. Ethan did inspire me to go out and renew my love for fannies. So I also bought a fanny. So
I have one too. I that's what I use at the auto shows is a fanny pack. So yes, Ethan, you're right there. It's super practical. Useful.
I had to take it. I had to go grab this off the rack. I've got a few up there, obviously.
There you go.
For cameras, they're not exactly fanny packs, but maybe we put some cool designs on it. They'll become one. I don't know.
It's whatever you want it to be, man. If it's around your waist, fanny pack to me.
There you go.
Cool.
Hands down. Well, as far as me, I've got a couple of 360 videos I'm editing right now, so that should be kind of fun. I'm going to try something new here.
Really excited for what you can do with that camera, man. I can't tell you how excited I am.
Yeah,
we've been hearing a lot about this camera.
Yeah, the rigs he's got. Come on, that's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's some really cool shots.
Yep.
There
we go. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate
All
that.
right.
Oh, thanks.
Nice.
Smiles a lot to you. Good day.
Well, hey, I appreciate everybody joining us. Please, everyone, make sure and leave a thumbs up. If it really helps the algorithm, definitely make sure and go to everybody's page, subscribe, show them some love. Looking forward to see these new things coming out from Wheelboy. And, of course, everyone, if you haven't already, always carry a can of sardines. You never know when they come in handy. We'll catch you guys next week right here on the Snark Lounge. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we're out.